Hey, welcome back to Techopolis 3, where in the last video, we set up this thing, the dimensional ore extractor, to produce diamonds. And then also these first three machines to be able to actually process these diamonds into anything worthwhile. I still need to finish this and set it all up, but that's the point of this video. The continuation of what I couldn't get done in the last video. Also, I want to address a bit of a problem with last time. To get the dimensional diamond ore, I did have to do a little bit of a creative mode switcheroo with the deep slate ore, because for some reason the normal diamond didn't work. But the general consensus in the comment section was that was perfectly allowed because it's more of an oversight in the pack than anything else. So that means I don't have to go through the arduous process of making all of those ores manually. And I can just carry on. I don't think there's anything else I need to bring up at the start here, so I'm just gonna carry on exactly where I left off last time. So I've got these three machines. I may as well make the rest of the ones needed in the production process. Meaning I need another chemical injection chamber, which might need its own automatic salt, but I might be able to steal the salt from here, because I am producing way more than I need. I'll see how that goes. Then I need another purification chamber, and probably a bunch of stuff to get the flint that goes in it. So it would just be an enrichment chamber and another rock washer. Then I also need another crusher and an enrichment chamber, so 2 enrichment chambers. And I could add in another enrichment chamber to turn it into diamonds, but I said last time that I'm just going to leave it outputting the dust, because most things don't even use the enrichment chamber as the final step. The dust just goes on to act as an ore. So I'm going to leave this be. So I've got a few more machines to make. And most of them are quite a lot easier. I am going to need some more advanced technique machine frames. And a few more diamonds. But I shouldn't need much. I've got plenty of spare charcoal to be able to get more purified coal. And while I leave that to go through, I can make some more infused alloy. And how many circuits am I going to need? I'll just make half a stack and go from there. But mostly, I'm just going to need a bunch more advanced technium. But thankfully, it seems like my production is up to scratch. I have upgraded this a little bit on my own, because this bronze is incredibly slow, entirely due to this copper. So I've just added 3 more rock washers generating copper for me, and that seems to have done the trick. I now have plenty of advanced technium. So then I can get those 5 advanced technium machine frames fairly easily. So now I just need to make some more advanced circuits. Then with some diamonds, I can make some reinforced alloy for the reinforced circuits. And so I should have the things I need. Lava buckets. That's not too bad. And I need a little bit of redstone too. But it is all being spent on more advanced technium. I will put some in my manual furnaces then. But I shouldn't need that much more. I only need about 20 redstone. So I need 1 crusher, and then 4 enrichment chambers, because then 2 of them get turned into purification chambers, and 1 into a chemical injection chamber. Oh, the circuits went in there for some reason. There we go. That should be all I need for the mechanism machines. I think I'll also steal a spare rock washer, and I'll run it on gravel. And I'll probably need a few more ambient water collectors, because I need to put so much more water into this first evaporation chamber, but I'll worry about that in a minute, because I need to actually make the other evaporation chambers to go all the way to sulfuric acid, and a rotary condensator to actually turn it into normal sulfuric acid. I guess I can do that now, because I'm not missing much, and the stuff that I am missing I can get pretty easily. There we go. So now I just need to make a ton of thermal evaporation blocks. And I guess also the valves and heaters that come along with it. And of course, this means I also need a bunch more reinforced machine casings. Do I have any? I've got 7. Probably not enough. How many blocks do I need per machine? 47? 48. Because it's 5 to make the controller and not the usual 4. 48 thermal evaporation blocks. Depending on how many valves I need, might only be 45. But 48 is a lot easier to make at a time, so I'll go with that. And I can't even make 32, so yes, I need another teleportation core. and I'm getting real sick of making these. If I'm only making the one core, it is marginally easier. Ooh, and this has reminded me, there's something I can do to get a lot more Certus quartz. I can get budding Certus quartz. I think with the in-world transformation, I can get it all the way to flawed, which isn't the best, but it's better. I just need charged Certus quartz, so I just need a charger, which is not expensive, and just steadily convert all of this. And it converts reasonably quickly. And then I just need a bit of water, and a spot where I can submerge this, and it seems to be reasonably quick. Yeah, flawed Certus quartz. I'm not sure where to put this though. I'm assuming if it's anything like amethyst, once it's placed, I'm not getting it back. I think I'll put it down here. It's more or less out of the way, and it's already starting to make Certus quartz. So this should just automatically make a bunch of Certus quartz for me. So I'm not going to have to deal with the chemical injection chamber for anything but silicon. So there's the calculation processes to make the teleportation core to get the reinforced machine frames. And hopefully that's going to be enough machine casings. Oh, I really hope it doesn't turn out I'm one short here. I think I can make it work. I am just going to need a lot of steel. That really seemed to be the main limiting factor here. Is there an easier way for me to get steel? Yes? Yes. Very much so. I forgot that I can just be using the metallurgic infuser to do this. That is so much faster than the blast furnace. So that's a little over 2 stacks of steel, much quicker than it otherwise would have been. Right, I'll just make a stack of thermal evaporation blocks for now, and make more as need be. So first up, I'm gonna need 2 control blocks, and also the 2 heaters they're gonna need. Then, how many valves am I gonna need for this? Because if I can share valves like this, I think I only need 2. So I think I might be able to remove this valve and save myself a few evaporation blocks. Yeah. So I'll just make 3 more and see how that goes. Right, now comes the placement of all of this. I think I might need a bit more space over here. I might not need too much more space, just enough to fit 1 more in here. So I should be able to set this up fairly easily. I'll pass in the brine, and it starts making lithium. Good. So then the last machine will just go here, except I've run out of blocks. 1 second. And then once I've set this one up, I can pass through the lithium to start making liquid sulfuric acid. And then, for the moment of truth, I want to make sure I've got input on the right, output on the left. I don't like that both these sides count as input right now. I think I'm condensating. Here goes. It's not going in. Oh, no, I'm decondensating. I'm turning a liquid into a gas, not the other way around. And of course it needs power. And it works! Okay, good. I'm now getting sulfuric acid. So now, I should be able to set up the actual processing here. I just somehow... Oh, that's items. There. Gonna get the sulfuric acid in here. And then that goes into the washer. Oh, but does it go in? This is the tricky bit. Is this a liquid or a gas? I don't know. I think it's still a gas. So we need a pressurized tube, and it needs a chemicals input and fluids output, unless it's still a chemical, because the fluid input is the purified water, which I guess I can put in through the top. Then the chemicals come out of that into the crystallizer. Then the items come out into the chemical injection chamber, which needs the salt inputted, possibly through the bottom? No. I want all to be visible, because that just makes it look cooler. Maybe I have some storage coming through the wall, I don't know, I can figure that out in a minute. But then the items get input here, output here, into a purification chamber, which needs to get flint out of here from this rock washer. And again, I can connect this up soon. I'm just going to finish placing down all of these machines. So purification chamber will output into this crusher, and then into this enrichment chamber, and then into a chest? I think so. I'll just connect all of these machines into power so that everything should be functional. And I'm also gonna get a bunch of upgrades for most of these. How many of these can take chemical upgrades? The chemical dissolution chamber is definitely gonna need it, considering sulfuric acid is very slow. So I think 3 machines need chemical upgrades. And I think in those same machines, I'm not gonna do speed upgrades, because I think maintaining the chemicals is a bit more important than speed. And I'm still mostly bottlenecked by this anyway. So that's 9 machines. I don't think I really need to worry about the rotary condensator. That doesn't really need any more speed, nor energy efficiency for that matter. So 8 machines, meaning a stack of energy upgrades, and 24 chemical upgrades, 40 speed upgrades. Right. So there's a stack of energy upgrades. And then with a lot more redstone and copper, there's the rest of the speed and chemical upgrades. So I can just steadily upgrade all of these now. Right. I won't know if that's made a difference until I actually finish setting this up. But now I know it should be able to run even with a comparatively low amount of sulfuric acid. So I'm just missing a few things. I need to get gravel into there and salt into there, which I should be able to do if I can bring a Tom's connection over. And given that there's cables running all the way through the floor here, that's not much of an obstacle. So then I want gravel on grey, which worked, even though I accidentally connected this wrong. Hang on. I meant to connect it into the rock washer, but it might be easy to just do this with another enrichment chamber, because the rock washer is pretty slow. I guess I may as well test if this works, which looks like it isn't, but I might just need to do that. Yes. But anyway, gravel goes through black, and salt goes through white. I am just gonna need to snake a Tom's connection in somehow, so that I can actually get salt in here. But it doesn't produce very much. I don't think there's much of a better way though. So, good thing I've got the chemical upgrades. And then I need water to go into this rock washer, and also to go into a purifier to put purified water in the chemical washer. And I should probably get 2 ambient water collectors for that. 1 for each, pretty much. But that's not such a big deal. So I think I can just connect this in like that. So then I have effectively 1 for each, but in the event that the rock washer is full, which it looks like it will be, then I have extra going into the purifier, which I need to extract out of there into the washer. Okay, so then I think that's it. So let's test this. I could probably do with a better input, so you know what, I'll do that first. Nothing special, just a simple chest. So then let's see, if I put all my precious diamonds in, they should steadily get consumed, and it is not using nearly as much sulfuric acid as I thought it would. Then it gets washed, then crystallized, except it's not going further. Hold on, that was not output. It makes it to the chemical injection chamber, which makes the shard to go in the purification chamber, to make the clump in the crusher, and then the dirty dust to enrich into normal dust. And actually, this is going quicker than I thought it would. I am bottlenecked on the purifying water though, which seems to be bottlenecked by the water collectors. Yeah. And I thought I was going to consume a lot more sulfuric acid than that, but I guess not. Also, I wonder, do I get 10 diamonds per ore? Because 200 millibuckets makes 1 crystal, and I get 2,000 per ore. So this is 10 times ore processing, and it's the only way to do it. Okay then. I just need to speed it up a bit by upgrading this water purifier. Well, I can start by doubling the water production, which seems to have helped. but I can do better. How about 2 more? It's still not quite running at full potential. How about another 2? It's close, but I still think I can do better. Okay, last 2. I think that might be enough. It should now be running at full capacity. Now I'm just limited by the fact that the chemical washer only does 1 millibucket at a time. Even at 256 times, it's still an arduous process. So this being slower is not a bottleneck. This is. And it seems like I'm producing a crystal at about the same rate that I'm processing it. I just might not be producing enough salt. But anyway, I think that's good to get me through all of my dimensional ores. Although, one small thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to move the inventory connected back here, just so I have a slightly cleaner view. So, that is that for the ore processing. I wonder, am I keeping up on the sulfuric acid? Possibly. It's a little hard to tell. This whole production is really slow. Maybe I should be putting more water in. Hang on. I've already made plenty of these, I can make 4 more. Now I'm putting in 5 millibuckets per tick, which should have pentupled my production. So sulfuric acid shouldn't be a problem. I think the last problem then that I want to solve in this video is power, because that is the one thing stopping me from actually running this ore extractor full time, which probably shouldn't have a machine frame in it. That's just going to make it cost quite a lot more. Yeah, with my current setup, I'm not producing enough to keep this running full time, or even close to that. So I'm going to need to upgrade this setup a bit. And I wonder if it's worth me purifying the biofuel. It does take a lot of purifying water. I still think it's easiest to get the purifying water with just a ton of ambient water collectors in one purifier. But 500 millibuckets is a lot. The fuel is more than twice as good. It produces twice as fast and lasts slightly longer. But I already produce a lot of biofuel in the crusher, so I wonder if I could just spam out a ton of these biogenerators. It might not be pretty, but if it gets the job done, then that's all it needs to do. I would just move this a bit though, because there's not very much room for expansion here. I'm not sure if there's anywhere that does have space though. Maybe I can fit something in here? If I get rid of the furnaces? Yeah, I think I can do something here. Well, first of all, I'm going to need a lot of biogenerators. I currently have 6. How much biofuel do I generate? I get 1 pumpkin every 800 ticks, so that produces 6 biofuel every 800 ticks, and then it runs for 600. So then this can only manage 4? No, because I have the output upgrade. Although, if I get some better speed upgrades, I can probably make this quicker. I'll see what I can do. First of all, I can upgrade to a level 3 speed upgrade. So then I produce every 600 ticks, meaning this can now support 12. But then I want to see how good these percentage speed upgrades are. And I can upgrade it to level 3 now that I've got gold and diamonds. So this should be 60% quicker? Ah, I'm making it too fast. How fast is it allowed to go? Can I do a level 2? Ooh, 80 ticks. Okay, that's very quick. I don't know if I've done my maths correctly, because this is saying I can make 45 biogenerators on the one cloche. Because in 600 ticks, I can produce 7.5 pumpkins, which give me 6 biofuel at a time. So yeah, I can handle 45 biogenerators. What is the point of output upgrades? Speed upgrades are so much better. Well then, in this area, how many biogenerators can I even fit? I feel like I can fit 12 quite handily. Ooh, actually, the crusher doesn't say how quickly it produces. I'd say that's 1 a second. So it can keep up with the cloche. So I don't have to worry about this. I think I do 12 biogenerators. That'd be the easiest to put in here. So then that's another 6. Well, the only real hard part of that is the advanced technique machine frames. But even those I've done plenty of times. So there's 6 more biogenerators. So then I will just move this setup over. And that's made this area look a lot cleaner. So then I can move everything over to here. And if I just connect in the machines, this should be able to produce a lot more power for me. It is just going to take a while to export all of the biofuel. I think I can just extract from multiple points, and that seems to be fixing the problem. Yeah, there we go. There's many more items rushing through there. Enough that now the cloche isn't keeping up. But I've nearly filled all of the biogenerators, so I should be fine. So that's double power? Yeah. So then I'm producing just shy of 4,000 FE per tick, which should be enough to run this machine now. It's unupgraded, but I don't want to try upgrading this at all. Because if I just see, I need about 1,300 FE per tick to run this, to run diamonds at base speed. I might barely be able to afford it at advanced technium speed, but there's a lot of other things that I need to run at the same time, so I think I'll leave this be. It produces fast enough anyway, and that's a lot of diamonds. Yeah, I don't think I need to upgrade this just yet. So, that's that. The thing I wanted to do last video that has taken all of this video as well. So, I think I underestimated exactly how difficult this was going to be. But it's done now, and I'm pretty pleased with this. I now have fully automatic diamonds, and any other ore for that matter. If I can get the dimensional ore, I just put it in here, it mines it for me, and then I can put it through this system, and it processes it for me. I would like to have more of these dimensional ore extractors running simultaneously, but I cannot afford the power for that. Even one is a bit of a strain, albeit it is one of the more expensive ores. Gold is also a lot, and redstone. Actually, yeah, the ones that I'm looking at doing, they all cost about 1,000 FE per tick. And all the cheap ones, like copper, I already have a much better way of getting them. So if I want to be running more of these machines, I'm going to need more power. And I don't know if there's something later down the line that'll let me get more power. Do I get anything with elite research? Ooh, there is an extreme reactor. That could be much better power. I might want to get that soon. Because spamming out biogenerators isn't the best solution here. It's workable, and I can probably just expand this either side if I need more power in the short term. But yeah, a reactor is where I need to go. So, all the more reason to get elite technium done. Because that seems like the only thing in my way? Yes. Well then, I guess that's the plan for next time. I'll finish off anything spare in all of these trees, and hopefully start crafting elite technium? Not automatically. I'm not automating that in the next video. I'm going to have to automate it soon, but I might want to use it first. Depends. I'll see what I need for it first. I think I might be getting a bit ahead of myself here. For now, I'm happy with what I've done, and I don't think I have anything else to say, so I'm going to call the video here. Bye.